The last major puzzle that we're going to look at in terms of IPOs is long run post IPO stock performance. And this is another instance where we're actually going to alter this term performance a little bit and call it a long-term underperformance. So this really essentially, if you take an IPO firm and a firm that's just gone public, and you find another firm that's got a lot of the same characteristics as the IPO firm, but has been public for a while, and you look at their long-term stock performance, it's on average the case that the non-IPO firm does better. So essentially, what financial economists have done in a lot of statistical types of studies is that they've found that long-run underperformance relative to comparable firms. And so this is puzzling for a number of reasons. First, we saw that when an IPO is first issued, the stock price has a tendency to go up by a pretty fair amount on the first day, and we saw about 17% on average on day one. So what seems to be happening is that people are overestimating the growth opportunities that this influx of capital is going to bring to the new firm. So they overestimate, the market systematically overestimates how well IPO firms will do following the issue. And so you get that immediate stock price increase the day that the shares are issued, but over time it becomes evident that the IPO firm isn't going to do as well as people thought. And so the issuing firm's price starts to deteriorate over time. So what's really puzzling about this is that it continues to happen over time on average. And that the market doesn't really seem to be adjusting. It keeps happening when you compare IPO firms to other public firms that didn't just issue. Those IPO firms tend to perform pretty poorly. So one of the potential explanations, like we set up here, is that maybe the market overestimates the firm's growth opportunities, but that still doesn't explain why the market hasn't adjusted. Another potential reason for this, ask ourselves the question, could the underperformance be related to the initial motivation to go public? And so maybe if you're the CEO of the firm and you're like, hey, everyone thinks that we're doing really well right now because at the moment the firm looks good, but I think over time some of our growth opportunities are going to dissipate and we're not going to do very well in the long term. So the idea is let's issue before the market realizes that our long-term prospects aren't as good as everybody thinks they are. So essentially, let's pull one over on the market. Let's put one over on the market and get our capital while it's still priced high.